Top 20 Azure SQL Interview Questions. Question 1. Which service provides Azure SQL Database? A. Azure SQL Database. B. SQL Server Management Studio. C. Azure Virtual Machines. D. Azure Blob Storage. The correct answer is A. Azure SQL Database. Azure SQL Database is a fully managed relational database service. Question 2. Which command is used to create a new database in Azure SQL? A. Create database. B. Create table. C. New database. D. Add database. The correct answer is A. Create database. Create database is used to create new databases in Azure SQL. Question 3. Which type of service is Azure SQL Database? A. Platform as a Service PaaS. B. Infrastructure as a Service IaaS. C. Software as a Service SaaS. D. On-premises. The correct answer is A. Platform as a Service PaaS. Azure SQL Database is a PaaS offering for database management. Question 4. What is the default port for Azure SQL Database? A. 1433. B. 80. C. 3306. D. 8080. The correct answer is A. 1433. Port 1433 is the default for connecting to Azure SQL Database. Question 5. Which of these tools is used for managing Azure SQL Database? A. SQL Server Management Studio SSMS. B. Azure Storage Explorer. C. Azure Active Directory. D. Azure CLI. The correct answer is A. SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. SSMS is commonly used for managing Azure SQL databases. Question 6. Which of the following features is supported by Azure SQL Database? A. Automatic scaling. B. Automatic backup. C. High availability. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Azure SQL Database supports automatic scaling, backups, and high availability. Question 7. What is the Azure SQL Database feature that ensures high availability? A. Always-on availability groups. B. Geo-replication. C. Elastic pools. D. Azure Backup. The correct answer is A. Always-on availability groups. Always-on availability groups ensure high availability in Azure SQL Database. Question 8. Which of the following is not a pricing tier for Azure SQL Database? A. Basic. B. Standard. C. Premium. D. Cloud. The correct answer is D. Cloud. Azure SQL Database offers Basic, Standard, and Premium tiers, not Cloud. Question 9. Which type of backup does Azure SQL Database support? A. Full backup. B. Incremental backup. C. Differential backup. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Azure SQL Database supports full, incremental, and differential backups. Question 10. What is the default database size for the basic tier in Azure SQL? A. 2 GB. B. 5 GB. C. 10 GB. D. 50 GB. The correct answer is A. 2 GB. The basic tier for Azure SQL Database starts with 2 GB of space. Question 11. Which command is used to create a user in Azure SQL? A. Create user. B. New user. C. Add user. D. Insert user. The correct answer is A. Create user. Create user is used to create a new user in Azure SQL database. Question 12. What does the elastic pool feature in Azure SQL allow? A. Multiple databases sharing resources. B. Scaling up individual databases. C. High availability. D. Automatic backups. The correct answer is A. Multiple databases sharing resources. Elastic pools let multiple databases share resources like CPU and memory. Question 13. What type of security feature is used to protect Azure SQL database data? A. Encryption. B. Firewall rules. C. Multi-factor authentication. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Azure SQL database uses encryption, firewall rules, and MFA for security. Question 14. What is the purpose of the Query Performance Insight feature in Azure SQL? A. Optimize queries. B. Monitor database performance. C. Manage user roles. D. Backup data. The correct answer is B. Monitor database performance. Query Performance Insight helps monitor and optimize query performance in Azure SQL. Question 15. Which of the following is not a supported deployment option for Azure SQL database? A. Single database. B. Elastic pool. C. SQL managed instance. D. SQL Express Edition. The correct answer is D. SQL Express Edition. SQL Express Edition is not available as a deployment option for Azure SQL. Question 16. What is the maximum storage limit for the premium tier in Azure SQL database? A. 1 terabyte. B. 4 terabytes. C. 2 terabytes. D. 100 gigabytes. The correct answer is B. 4 terabytes. The premium tier supports up to 4 terabytes of storage in Azure SQL database. Question 17. What does the geo-replication feature in Azure SQL enable? A. Backup to remote locations. B. Automatic scaling. C. Data redundancy across regions. D. Access control management. The correct answer is C. Data redundancy across regions. Geo-replication ensures data redundancy by replicating data across Azure regions. Question 18. Which tool provides a graphical interface for managing Azure SQL database? A. Azure Management Portal. B. SQL Server Management Studio. C. Azure CLI. D. Azure PowerShell. The correct answer is A. Azure Management Portal. The Azure Management Portal provides a web-based interface for managing Azure SQL. Question 19. Which option allows for managing a multi-database environment in Azure SQL? A. SQL Managed Instance. B. Elastic Pools. C. Single Database. D. Backup Solutions. The correct answer is B. Elastic Pools. Elastic Pools help manage multiple databases with shared resources in Azure SQL. Question 20. What type of storage is used by Azure SQL database? A. Blob storage. B. Data disk. C. SQL storage. D. Standard storage. The correct answer is C. SQL storage. Azure SQL database uses SQL-based storage optimized for relational data.